Good evening, and welcome back to the second episode of Wrong Generation Politics. I'll be your host, Jacob. Hey, real quick before we get started, this is a brand new account, brand new thing I've just launched. A lot of you are already coming on board, but hey, if you see these videos, if you like what I have to say, please hit that follow button. Please hit that like button. It helps me out. I'm trying to grow this new channel here. So, yeah, every like, every follow, you ain't got to send no money or nothing. I don't want your money. I just want your support. So just hit that follow button, hit that like button, share it with your friends, like-minded individuals like us. So let's get right into episode 2 of Wrong Generation Politics Talk Show here on TikTok. Let's go. And tonight we're going to talk about something that, for some reason, is a hot topic among the current events, and that is transgender folks, transgender rights, transgender athletes, more particularly men who claim transgender now going into women's sports. Listen, man, I'm of this opinion. America's a free country. If you want to identify as trans and have your manhood cut off and rearranged, how they have that done, ultimately it's a free country and you can do what you want to do. Nobody really cares. But one issue I have a problem with this in is athletics. And I'm sure most of you that follow this channel will probably agree, and that find this channel will probably agree. A transgender man, meaning a man who went through the sex change to now be a female, they still don't belong in women's sports. I mean, you think about it, man. Everybody wants to talk about it. Everybody gets so caught up in men and women being equal. That's the thing. We're not equal. We're not equal. Instead of worrying about like what, a woman saying, well, I can do anything a man can do, or a man saying I can do anything a woman can do, well, to the man, actually, no, there's a pretty big one there that you can't do, which is give birth. But I digress. I mean, you've got these transgender athletes, these transgender men going into women's sports. And wouldn't you know it, they're dominating the sport. Anyone who is surprised by that, I ask you now, if you will, to stand on your head while you're watching this TikTok. I mean, even Bruce Jenner, or Caitlyn Jenner, even that one came out against trans people being, like, not just trans people being in sports, but like a trans male being in a woman's sport. And the thing is, men and women are built differently. And like I said earlier, we should focus on what men can do that women can't do, and what women can do that men can't do. I mean, physically, if you look at the average man versus the average woman, we're just built differently. So without saying much more, let's go on to this clip here. This is apparently from Team DeSantis out of Florida, Ron DeSantis, the governor down there. And this is an ad that I guess he and his team put together. We're going to watch it. We're going to talk about it. Well, anyone who's watching the video, we're going to talk about it, but I guess, you don't have to. Anyway, here it is.
DeSantis presents
Real Man of Women's Sports.
Today we recognize the men who've hacked the system.
Hack the system.
Once mediocre in the men's division, now cream of the crop in the women's.
From mediocre to champion.
You couldn't cut it with the boys, so you pushed women off the podium.
Real man still first place.
Because without you, sports would be fair. Without you, women's sports would be for, well, women.
Hold up. Did anyone else see that thing that was standing in the pool? Did y'all catch that? Let's run it back. This person right here.
Cut it with the boys, so you pushed women off the podium.
My first reaction to that is what the hell is that?
What the hell is even that?
You see how wide that thing's shoulders are, and how narrow the hips are? Is that Hank Hill with a wig on? Talking about, by God, I got the diminished glute syndrome. Peggy, I have no ass. Don't play with my butt pads. That is a medical prosthetic device. Look, man, I'm a libertarian about a lot of things. Okay? I find myself right in the middle. But I can understand where people are coming from saying they feel like this transgender ideology is being pushed upon them. I can also see where people are saying, well, it doesn't affect you in your personal life if someone decides to be trans. You're right, it doesn't, which is why I don't care. Look at the beginning of my video. We all have the right to exist however we want. This is America, man. But where I have a problem with that is these, like DeSantis's advertisement said, these guys that are mediocre at best in their division of athletics, they go to the women's division, claim trans, go to the women's division, and all of a sudden they're top dog. Look, if anything, this is an attack on women. This is 100% an attack on women and women's sports. And any liberal woman who defends this, I'm utterly dumbfounded by you. This is a straight up attack on your people, on your gender, on your athletic sports, everything that goes into that. But here's the real thing. Here's the real question that I have. You notice how the trans stuff has been front and center on the TikToks, on the mainstream news, the headlines. It's all been focused around that, right? Have you noticed that? Okay, me too. I've noticed it too. Do you know how long transgender people have been around? A long time. I ain't going to bore you with the statistics of, how long it's actually been, but it's been a long time. And no one ever seemed to really say a word about it until recently. My question is this. Do you think this is a distraction? Because I do. All this publicity, all this media attention on the transgender folks and people who don't agree with the transgender folks, all of a sudden that's taking forefront. That's the center of attention. I'm a big believer that the government and the news work together to create distractions based on what's going on the political side of our country. That's just the way I see it. You can call me a conspiracy theorist all you want, but that's the way I see it. At the end of the day, live and let live. But women, a transgender man coming to your sport division and dominating, that's not right to y'all. It's not. I mean, men and women are built to do different things. Like I said earlier, and I don't want to repeat myself over and over, but I have a tendency of doing that on a video. But there's things that we can do that y'all can't do, and there's things that y'all can do that we can't do, to my men versus women. And honestly, every female athlete should be disgusted right now, if you want my opinion. They should be disgusted with what's going on in the transgender sports. I mean, if anything, you can make a transgender sport division of its own. I mean, that'd be a solution. The only people that are going to watch or other transgender folks, but hell, they'll be happy because I guarantee you no sports fans are going to watch it because it probably suck. I don't care what you identify as. You can be born a guy that switched to a girl. You can be born a girl that switched to a guy. I don't care. I don't care. It's your decision. I'm not mad about it. But I will end this video by saying transgender men who are now identifying as a woman do not belong in women's sports. Period. Point blank. If that offends you, I'm sorry. And quite frankly, if that offends you, then you're the kind of person I don't want on this channel anyway. Y'all have a good night. Be blessed. We'll see you on episode 3 of The Wrong Generation Politics TikTok Talk Show. That is a mouthful. That's what she said. I love y'all. We'll see you on the next one.